I'm Ben Lengerich, a postdoc in Manolis Kellis's Computational Biology lab here at MIT. I'm very interested in AI and machine learning for healthcare, and we're developing context-adaptive systems and interpretable models to understand how real-world data and computational genomics affects healthcare outcomes. One project we're very excited about is combining language models with statistical machine learning models. So recently there's been a very big trend and lots of excitement in the amazing capabilities of large language models to understand natural language and process logic, but it's not clear how we integrate such natural language with traditional statistical machine learning models. And so we're investigating how do we use the deep domain knowledge of language models and allow us to understand machine learning models better. This is really applicable to healthcare data, where deep domain knowledge is essential, but it's also widely applicable. Statistical machine learning models are very good at taking complex outcomes and observations and breaking down the outcomes into separable components or interpretable representations that lead to these outcomes. As a result, they've been the mainstay of traditional data analytics for a long time. In contrast, modern AI and language models build persistent databases of knowledge that is across the entire internet or trained on all sorts of pretext tasks, some other task that helps us understand logic before going to the healthcare specific task. As a result, these AI models, these large language models, are very good at understanding logic and deep domain knowledge, but they don't reveal it to the human user as well as the statistical machine learning models do. So one classic example of strange and interesting findings in real-world health data sets is when we look at electronic health records. And a classic example of this is the mortality rates of patients hospitalized with pneumonia. Sometimes when we look at real-world data, we see that patients with pneumonia are more likely to survive if they also have asthma. This is surprising to us, and it's counter-causal in that they're not actually healthier with asthma, but it gives us an insight to how the system is working, the health system is working. Patients with asthma might have higher urgency of going to the hospital for pneumonia, and hence they might get better treatment or have better statistical outcomes. As a result, this example shows how just blindly applying machine learning to healthcare data sets could propagate biases or could do exactly the wrong thing that we don't want to do. We don't want to withhold treatment from the people who would benefit from it the most. But by using machine learning, we can find out these amazing intricacies and find out ways that we can improve treatments for all. So going forward, we think this process of automating data science and automating interpretability by combining statistical machine learning with foundation models is really exciting and has opportunities for dynamic systems that are continuously updating and continuously scanning for strange statistical patterns in data, even as the data are constantly changing and medical practices are changing, pandemics come out, etc. All of the world is changing around us, but by tying in the machine learning to a persistent AI knowledge base, we can dynamically find strange and surprising effects in data.